a lot of exit polling, again, pretty much the only polling I trust, surveys and that kind of thing, has shown that the Republican share of the vote has declined on average by 7 points since Dobbs. Think about that for a second and how much that is. Remember, that's the reason Lauren Boebert, besides the fact that she also is an idiot and pisses people off and whatever, had to run away from a +6 Republican district. I mean, part of it's because she's so awful, right? A Republican that knew how to run a good race can hold on to a seat like that. But it means that really anything up to a +7 Republican seat is in play. You know what I mean? And so it's worth, and probably if it's a bad candidate like Lauren Boebert, you're getting into who loses extra points because they suck.
In America, we see more deaths by hand, fists, feet, even hammers. And, are we going to start legislating that away? Are we going to be like these other countries who even ban knives? I mean, if hammers are the cause of more deaths than firearms, then maybe we need to start having background checks on hammers. I mean, look out, Black & Decker.
There's no doubt that they're hoping that somehow this border garbage can bring them back.
This border thing is actually
trying to not laugh. Go ahead.
Right. This border thing is actually a bunch of hooey, right? And Democrats have messaged this thing poorly for a long time, for decades and decades. They poorly message us where they buy into the right-wing messaging that the imaginary line that people cross is somehow the problem.
Maybe I come around this side.
No.
Okay, maybe I come around this side.
No.
Okay, maybe I climb over top.
No.
You need help building more fence?
Okay, come on over.
The imaginary line, whether it's in the southwest border of terrorists,
at the southwest border of terrorists,
or the northwest border of Canucks, right? It really, that's not the problem. The imaginary line is not the problem. People crossing it is not the problem. It's how we treat them when they get here, right? Yeah. And those policies that we have in place on how we treat them when we get here, people not willing to consider the changes of those policies, that's the actual problem.
Yes.
It's not the policies themselves, really, because we know right now that the Republicans are in a hot mess because Donald Trump wants them to impeach, apparently, our impeach tree dish. I guess that's what it is. Impeach tree dish. Mayorkas, the secretary of the border, right? He's the secretary of the border. It's the only thing that he's really responsible for.
That's all he does.
Right. He just does that, just the border. So the secretary of the border, they want to impeach tree dish him, even though the Senate is the ones trying to get the bill, and then they'll have to vote to add him out of office. It doesn't make any sense, really. It makes about as much sense as having a porch of entry instead of a port.
Border Patrol apprehensions between porch of entry.
But here's the thing, is that the messaging has always been lost on this, and the Dems have dropped the ball on this for so long. So I actually appreciate that Moskowitz, even though he was setting up a debate, a false target in the debate there.
Yeah.
I actually like that he's admitting that, because I've been saying that for the last 2 weeks as everyone's been yelling and screaming about the border as if it's a big problem, the imaginary line. It's not a problem. It's how we treat the people when they get here. But really, it's Washington, D.C. that's been a problem for a long time. And I believe that if Democrats would switch their messaging to the problem is the bigots who won't let us fix the policies that we have.
That's what it should be.
To assimilate people
right
into
now,
the American experience.
You're repeating that, which is, hey, guess what? We have a bill here. And again, it may not be the greatest bill. I don't know.
Oh, it's complete. It's complete.
Yeah, but we have the bill right here, and they're blocking it. They won't let us do it. Just pull out like an offensive maneuver on them, counterattack, and go after all of them, and go on every show and write every op-ed and do everything possible. Be like, why won't you let us pass this, Mike Johnson? Why won't you let us pass this, Mike Johnson? Stop monitoring your son's porn and let's pass this. And
I don't know. Maybe his son has good porn. I don't know. Maybe that's
maybe he can balance both at the same time, right? He's like monitoring the porn, writing the bill. I don't know. Right. I just know that in the end, that they should change their messaging. I agree with you that this whole the border is a disaster. We absolutely need to change how people are treated, how they become citizens. All these things that need to be done, how businesses are treated that are obviously trying to bring people in and pay them under their table and not pay them enough and exploit them. But the thing is we've had numerous opportunities to do this. Every time Republicans have stopped it from going through over the last 10, 12 years to at least improve things somewhat, right? And so the giving into the border is a mess. I mean, look, Republicans deny climate change, and that's an actual real problem. When they want to just deny something exists, they deny it. Whereas we sit there and play on their game when they're making something up. Every time if we had messaged this correctly from the beginning, it would have been like the whatever on the border would be like, I don't know what you're talking about. There's not a disaster on the border. There are a couple of policy issues. We need to change them. We need to get better. Stop blocking us from doing that.
Right. We need to welcome these people into our country to grow our economy and make America great again. If you want to say it that way, I don't give a shit.
You can say it a number of ways, but you counterattack, you do it your way. But instead, because we've admitted so many times that, it is a disaster, we can't sort of back out of that now. So the best way to handle it is the way Jared Moskowitz is, which is we got late to this, we weren't here, but now we're here. What are you doing?
Right.
And that's probably the best way to go with now.
Well, and not only that, it really, because they're going to pick Donald Trump as their nominee, and his one talking point is that brown people are going to come rape you and kill you. And
in case you haven't noticed, the white people are melting out here.
And they're all, they're going to
caravan that's on its way.
Right. And I'm going to take a thing from Mein Kampf and say poisoning the blood of America. I'm going to steal that Hitler quote. But I didn't say it the same way because I didn't say it in German. I said it in English instead of German. So I said it differently.
That's okay.
Right. But that's the one thing he has left because he cannot. They know that they're going to lose on Roe v. Wade.